All right. How you doing? It's the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. Welcome to another episode of the Mike Prince Show, right here from the Open Mic Broadcast Network, coming to you each and every day, based right out of Grand Old Prairie View, Texas, home of the Prairie View A&M University Panthers. Of course, we feature coverage on the Panthers and the rest of the SWAC, MEAC, local and high school, local regional high school, and some JUCOs within the area. And without any further ado, let us jump right into today's episode. Well, the stage is set for the opening act of the NBA Finals as we know it. In all fairness, I don't see this going past 5 games. The Warriors are by far the better team. And the only reason I'm going to say 5 games, you have to allow the will of LeBron James alone to steal at least 1 game. So we'll see how this thing pans out. But the Warriors should have no problem taking care of the Cavaliers. That's just my own opinion. And I was thinking the other day, I know that the MVP voting is coming in, and I know there's a lot of emphasis on James Harden on being the MVP of the league with the year that he had for the Rockets. But I thought about it. If you remove Harden from the Rockets, what type of team would the Rockets be? And the Rockets would more than likely be a lower-level playoff team. But if you take LeBron away from the Cavaliers, what would the Cavaliers be? Yes, they may have made the playoffs because the East is that terrible. But there's no way they would have been able to advance as far as they have without LeBron James carrying that team on his back. So I know more than likely Harden's going to get the nod for MVP, but the true MVP is LeBron James. It's what you bring to that team. What is that team without your presence? And the Rockets are still somewhat a respectable ball squad without James Harden. I can't really say that with confidence about the Cavaliers. And speaking of confidence, it is time, way past time, long overdue, in my humble opinion, that the SWAC comes up with a commissioner to lead this conference in the next direction. We're coming up on the SWAC Media Day, which is July 13th. And I personally think you need to have a decision by June 1st. Give the new coming commissioner an opportunity to go through some things, but if you wait till July 1st or even August 1st, heaven forbid, you got so much going on and chaos. And let's not forget, business is still going on. There are dates for your TV contracts to be fulfilled, and all of this stuff is piling up, and you're not going to get premium dates when it comes to featuring your conference on these TV deals with ESPN. So I know we are trying to do the due process. I get all of that. But a decision, you know who you want right now. You know at this point, if you don't have an idea who you want, we're in bad shape. Absolute bad shape. So let's go ahead, move forward with the decision. Let's let it be known so we can gather around and start doing what needs to be done, how it needs to be done. You have right now an interim that has been holding it down. And the only thing I'm going to say about that is when you're in that position of being an interim of anything, and I understand that safe is the best way, but sometimes you need to show that you have the ability to step outside of the box, to do some creative things that could make a person look at you somewhat different and say, hey, maybe this would be the long-term solution. That's just my own viewpoint from outside looking in. Don't be afraid of making a decision because you don't want to mess up anything. Leaders make decisions, some of them good and some of them not so good. But you make a decision, you live with it, you die with it, you grow from it, either or. But it's time for a commissioner to be selected. The MEAC SWAC Challenge will be coming up real soon. North Carolina Central taking on Prairie View A&M University in the ATL. Should be a very intriguing game. Prairie View will be coming off of the Rice game in week 0. So they would have a game underneath their belt going in to take on North Carolina Central. Should be a very intriguing matchup for that. Once Prairie View is done with that game, they'll head to Sam Houston to take on the Bearcats in Huntsville, Texas. So yes, it is. Football is in the air. And you might as well embrace it because it's knocking at the door. And we're knocking at the door as well here from the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Had a sit down with the powers to be from the athletic departments of Prairie View. In case you missed it, we have some coaches who have committed to be part of our weekly football roundup. We'll hear exclusively from those camps. And that's exciting. The most recent one to join is Mike Haywood from Texas Southern. It'll be very intriguing to hear his viewpoints each week right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Still working on a couple other coaches to add to the fold, but right now we have a good, hearty blend and mix of coaches from the SWAC and the MEAC to give their perspectives as the weeks unfold in the very near future. As I was stating, we talked to the powers that be at the athletic department from Prairie View, working on some deals, always working, and if you're not planning your work, you're planning to fail. So we always try to stay ahead of the curve, if you would. So we're feverishly putting things together and looking forward to a very bright 2018-19 campaign. Of course, we are going to have our local high school coverage. We're going to have the coverage from Blinn, have the coverage from Prairie View and the SWAC and the MEAC, of course, and just so much going on and so much information to get it there. Want to remind you guys, we're also available on 87.9 FM in the Prairie View community. We're even expanding that in the very near future, working on something to fine-tune, expand that coverage where we could reach even more of you on the terrestrial side. But if you cannot reach us from the terrestrial side, you can always go to TuneIn at Open Mic Broadcast Network, OPEN, capital MIC, Broadcast Network. You can also dial 605-477-5066 and never miss what's going on at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Warriors in 5. That's my projection. LeBron James is a bad man, but he can't take on an entire team. Want to remind you guys, follow me on Twitter at Radio Guy, Instagram, Radio Guy 22, the website, obn-radio.com. I am the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. You guys be blessed, and we'll see you on the other side.